everybody, it's Mandy with Sumptuous Living. I wanted to share with you one of my favorite weekend breakfasts. During the week, it's too crazy to do stuff like this, but my kids have gotten a little spoiled and expect at least some effort during the weekend breakfast scene. So I have enlisted this amazing little cinnamon rolls from scratch, but using a crispy, fluffy biscuit dough instead of your gooey, normal, traditional cinnamon roll dough. So we're gonna start with 6 cups of biscuit mix. And to that I'm gonna add buttermilk. If you only have milk, that's fine. Go ahead and just use regular milk. It's not gonna be a game changer. Remember, a recipe is a guide, okay? So we're gonna add buttermilk to it. And then I'm gonna also add some veggie oil or canola oil, just not olive oil, it'll be too strong. So 2 tablespoons of that. And sometimes, you know, I mean, it depends on your brand of what you're using or the milk that day or whatever, you know, ingredients can be a little tricky. So you have to kind of play with what they do. So let me grab a spatula and we are gonna mix this all up together and make our biscuits. So that's really the extent and how easy it is to make the dough. It's a huge time saver, and that way the kids get to start playing with it, or you at the same time. This pretty much takes me about maybe 10 minutes. I've gotten down to where my prep time is less than 10 minutes, and then the oven's doing all of the work for me. Okay, so now I have a dough, and I don't want to overwork it too much. It will kind of build up the glutens and make them a little tough. So then I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the same biscuit mix and spread that on my dough board, okay? You can use your regular counter if you have a hard surface. I do also, but I just like to have one thing I can move straight over to the sink. So see how fluffy and light? It's so pretty. And I'm picking it up and making sure that I have powder all underneath it and kneading it a bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this into a big rectangle. This is not something that keeps your kitchen clean, but what baking experiment does. See how easy it's moving around? It's so handy. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and put melted butter and cinnamon and all kinds of good, delicious stuff. So now our really so yummy biscuit cinnamon rolls have come out, and they're kind of like a blend between a cinnamon roll and a scone, if you think about it. They're gonna be fluffy and slightly crispy on the outside like a biscuit, but have that cinnamon roll flavor, and they're so natural looking because that gorgeous fluffy dough has kind of loosened and flopped around, and so now it won't matter because we're about to put a really good glaze on it. And any glaze is pretty simple. It's just powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, some vanilla, and today I'm putting in some orange zest. So that's the key part. The other big key part is to make sure that your powdered sugar, when you're whisking it together, is perfectly smooth so you don't have any lumps of sugar in there. So we are gonna take some milk. For this aspect, I like a really thin glaze. My goal is to taste this yummy business, not this super sweet business. So I like it very thin. So I'm gonna add in some milk and vanilla. And then I'm gonna also add in some orange zest. We're gonna whisk that together. And you think it's a lot of sugar, it's really not. By the time you add the milk, just makes it melt and dissipate and just turn into a really lovely loose glaze. When the cinnamon rolls sit, they will still harden on them. So just because it's really loose doesn't mean it won't ever harden. The vanilla made it nice and kind of vanilla colored. I wonder how that happened. All right, so now we're really smooth. And just a trick after making these about a cajillion times, because my family loves it, I like to put them in a measuring cup with a spout so that I can just drizzle easy and I'm not fussing with a spoon. And I am not a big carb kind of person, but these I will inhale in a heartbeat. So happy breakfasting to all of you, and we'll see you next time at Sumptuous Living. Oh yeah, this is really good. I taste the orange, it's so good.